With the strict curl becoming more popular, we're seeing a lot of random lifters coming out of nowhere putting up insane numbers. And what I want to point out in today's video is the commonality that most of them have, which is big biceps, which may seem extremely obvious, but there's a greater point behind this. Here's the distinction. Getting a strong strict curl is not what gave them big biceps. Big biceps is what gave them a strong strict curl. This is significant when we talk about general strength training, because many people are under the false impression that bodybuilding is a sacrifice to your strength development, when that can be further from the truth long term when you consider the fact that a bigger muscle is a stronger muscle, and a bigger muscle has significantly more strength potential. In fact, if you took a natural bodybuilder that's been in the game for 10 years and you make him test his strict curl 1 rep max first day ever, he's going to put up a decent number. Then you peak him for a good 3 months with some high intensity strategies, and you'll have an elite curler every single time. That I will bet money on. Beyond that, we can talk about specificity of training and leverages, but all things being equal, a bigger bicep is a stronger bicep. That's why if you go on Instagram and you look at the hashtag for strict curls, most of these people are bodybuilders, gym bros, or random athletes that have been training for a long time. And it's a fact that they're already jacked that allows them to display their performance, because now they had the opportunity to specifically train for the strict curl for 1 to 2 months. And I'll give you an example. Going to myself, the first time I tested it, I got 130 pounds. Not the cleanest repetition. I'd say 125 was a lot better, but that was my first time ever maxing out on it. I bet if you would have given me 3 months that I can maybe do a bodyweight strict curl for 1 rep max, because the mass has already been established. So at that point, it becomes about refinement. It's like a powerlifter who peaks for a competition. Actually, while we're on that subject, what happens when we take bodybuilders and we put them on a powerlifting program? Guess what? They become elite every single time. Whether they're natural, enhanced, I don't care. Look at what happened with Stan Efferding. He became one of the best because the muscle mass is already there. You'd be surprised how strong bodybuilders can be. A lot of them like to use mind-muscle connection strategies in addition to super high volume, so the performance doesn't look as good. But if you put them on a real strength training program, you'd be shocked at how fast their strength would explode. If you have 18-inch arms, with biceps being one of your best body parts, you're not going to be a weak curler. So that's the main message I'm talking about here, and I'm using the strict curl as an example to demonstrate the fact that strength is strength. I've talked about this for so many years, and we have witnessed this time and time again, not only in my performance, but with many others as well. And now the strict curl is showing what's actually going on. Most people putting up these insane 1 rep maxes are not professional strict curlers. They don't compete. They're just random guys. They're like, oh, let's curl for the fun of it. It's like a gym bro fun lift. Oh, how much you bench? Same thing with the curl. How much you curl? Okay, let's find out. Some of these dudes had zero specificity. Some of these men, specifically bodybuilders, are testing it their first time. You see it on the video, right? And they're putting up numbers that rival some of the actual competitors if you look at what the stats are. Now, it's unofficial, but still, a good lift is a good lift, right? So strength is strength, and the best advice I can possibly give you, no matter what lift you're trying to prove upon, is to hypertrophy those muscles to their full capacity. You want the biggest bench for your build? Get your pecs, shoulders, and triceps to their full size. Heck, if you did bodybuilding for a long time, then you start doing a bench specialization program, you're going to get very strong, very fast. And the same applies to the curl. If you're doing high volume, the highest volume of which you're capable of recovering from with appropriate frequency, and you're getting progressively stronger in those bodybuilding rep ranges, and then you start specializing, or better yet, using concurrent periodization or the conjugate system in general. And now you might be adding in some 1 rep maxes, some 3x3s, some high sets, low reps, etc. Watch how fast your gains explode. Watch at that peaking process, because now you're training a different pathway and you're displaying what has already been built. The muscle's already there. Now it's time for you to start lifting a little bit heavier, and the gains are going to be out of this world. But again, I'll say that you probably already have a decent strict curl right now if your biceps are already massive. That would be a very difficult thing to argue against. So that's it, man. This is just a quick little video to extend the discussion about strict curl into general strength training and what you can expect to gain when you actually have a big muscle and then you start lifting heavy. Really, that combination is very difficult to beat. So hope you enjoyed this segment. Let me know what your strict curl 1 rep max is. Let me know if you can relate to what I'm saying. You tested it, then you started training for it specifically. 1 to 3 months later, there was a big explosion in performance. I want to know all about it, and I'll see you in the next video.